Belasco Theater in Los Angeles. The Splatoon Sterling Squid is what we're all inking for today as we get set for the Splatoon 2 World Championship. 4 of the freshest squads getting set to battle over the next 2 days of exciting action. We bring you opening round action today. And to help kick things off, let's please invite a special guest to the stage. The producer for Splatoon 2, the one, the only, Mr. Nogami!
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you. 皆さん、こんにちは。私は人の姿に変身する不思議なイカを研究しているイカ研究所の研究員です。
Hello, I am a squid researcher from the Squid Research Labs, and I make it my business to study a mysterious form of inkling life.
会場の皆さん、そしてインターネットで中継をご覧になっている世界中のファンの皆さん、スプラトゥーン2ワールドチャンピオンシップへようこそ。
To everyone here in the theater and all of you watching from home online around the world, welcome to the Splatoon 2 World Championship.
そして世界各地の大会を勝ち抜いたアメリカ、ヨーロッパ、オーストラリア、ニュージーランド、日本の代表チームの皆さん、ご出場おめでとうございます。
I also want to offer my hearty congratulations to the 4 teams that won their way here from America, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan.
トッププレイヤーたちによる世界最高峰の戦いが見れることに私自身今からとてもワクワクしています。
I cannot wait to see what I'm sure will be some world-class play from some of the world's best players.
選手の皆さん、持てる力を出し尽くし、悔いのない戦いをしてください。
To all the players gathered here, let's see your best skills on display and leave everything you have on the turf.
それでは皆さん、トーナメントを楽しんでください。
Everyone, please enjoy the tournament.
Do your best and good luck!
Oh, yeah, let's get it cracking. The Splatoon 2 World Championship. Welcome in. I'm your spray-by-spray host, Jordan Kent, and joining me, 2 of the finest Splatalists in all of Inkopolis, we have Ashley Esqueda and Charles 9 Whitehead. And we have 4 of the freshest squads, as we said. And Ashley, let's start with you. Your thoughts on these championships as we get set.
I mean, we were here last year for the Invitational, and now we get to see the World Championship. And I really like the stories because we've got some returning players, and they're looking for revenge. And I like that.
And Charles, what are you excited to see over the next couple of days here?
Well, this truly is the World Championship, the best players that we could find out here today fighting for all the glory, all the marbles, the prestige. This truly is the championship of all championships.
Well, before we get started, let's take a look at some housekeeping that we got to take care of. The tournament rules for the Splatoon 2 World Championship. Let's go ahead and follow these along. Opening rounds, we like to call those the ink pools. That'll be turf war. Teams play 2 matches and a mini seeding bracket. After play, the teams will then be ranked by their win-loss record. The semifinals, ranked battle, the matchups seed 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3, and then an elimination best of 5, which will lead us to our 2 teams for the grand finals tomorrow, which will be a best of 7. Kicking off at 1 p.m. tomorrow. And you look at the seeding schedule here, we've got a couple teams that are ready to go, but let's walk you through the first 4 matchups that we'll have in this opening round of Turf War. You see match 1, Set to Destroy X, representing the USA, taking on the Back Squids, representing Europe, and then the GG Boys from Japan, taking on Yana from Australia, New Zealand, and match 2. You'll see match 3, you take the loser of match 1 and the loser of match 2, and then match 4 will be the winner of match 1 and the winner of match 2. Now, we talk about Turf War here. A lot of these players are obviously very familiar with it, and many people that get their introduction to Splatoon 2 have played Turf War. So let's take a look at the basic concepts of what we're trying to do here in Turf War. Well, you guessed it. Cover as much of the stage as possible in your team's ink in 3 minutes. Whichever team has the most ink on the ground at the end of the match wins. Now, Ashley, a pretty basic concept, but you look at these professionals, and it is much more than just that.
That's right. When you're playing at this high of a level, Turf War is not as easy as it seems. And, of course, these two teams are going to look to establish positioning very early on and hold those spots so that they can put down as much ink as possible.
And to that point as well, the music change in the last minute is not just for show. Believe me, the last 30 seconds, the most important part of Turf War. You have to make sure that you're in the right spot to stop the enemy push, then save your specials, because it's all about who's ahead at the end.
We heard about the team names, but let's take a moment to get to know the squads just a little bit better with a quick look at them.
Ink. Used in ancient cultures to write sacred texts. It drips. Sometimes it drops. Early monks used it to create quiet masterpieces. Gutenberg pressed it. And today, we use ink to determine the winner of the Splatoon 2 World Championship, where 4 teams come together to compete for the coveted Sterling Squid. Representing Japan are the GG Boys. Dynamon returns with his new team after splatting out over 800 teams in Japan and is now looking to bring that Sterling Squid home.
I am Dynamo.
Etona, Taish, Yamamichi.
We are GG Boys.
And representing Australia, New Zealand is, yeah, nah.
1, 2, 3. Were we all meant to go at 3?
Arriving as the undefeated champions of the 2018 AUNZ Splatoon 2 Cup, this new team includes 2017 Invitational participant Latias. Just kidding, Latias, who returns with the goal of scoring key upsets.
Hi, I'm Gabe.
Hi, I'm Latias.
Totally, River.
And I'm FLC.
And we're Team Yeah Nah.
Representing the United States and Canada is Set to Destroy X. After the U.S. defeated Japan in the 2017 Splatoon 2 World Inkling Invitational, key members of the U.S. team became Set to Destroy X and continued their dominance by winning tournament after tournament after tournament. It was a lot of tournaments. The U.S. is now ready to defend their title.
Hi, I'm Penguin.
Hi, I'm Kiev.
I'm Fuzzy.
I'm Hexen, and we are Set to Destroy X.
That was awesome.
Dude, wow.
Representing Europe is Backsquids. The winners of the Splatoon European Championship, this German team brings a fresh name and team spirit aplenty as they take on the rest of the world. Hey, you're supposed to smile here.
He's smiling.
Hi, I'm Ying. I'm Echo.
I'm Watson.
I'm Kaito.
And I'm Magic K. Rose.
And we are the Backsquids.
Now that we've met our teams, it's time to split!
It's great to establish an emotional connection with all of our teams right there as we get set for our first match. You've got Set to Destroy X from Team USA taking on the Backsquids from Team Europe. And Nine, I want to talk about these special communication devices they'll be using as they get set to play here.
Right, these teams have a special communication device tailored specifically for this tournament. I don't know if you can see them down there, but there are some 6 Splatoon 2 World Championship decals on the side, and communication so important in any team-based shooter, but especially this. There's only 4 members. They all have to be informed.
Players getting their gear ready right now, and as far as the level selection, they'll be starting off on Piranha Pit. That was won by a coin toss by Team USA in the back, so we'll get a chance to look at that level. And you look at the different abilities and gear, what do you think lends itself well to Turf War here, Ashley?
I think for Turf War, you're looking for things like, you know, swim speed. I always love swim speed. You can get back into the action quickly. I know we're going to probably see a lot of maybe super super quick jump. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could pick, but the one thing that we won't be seeing, Nine, as we were talking about, is sub-abilities.
We will not be seeing sub-abilities today. Sub-abilities are disabled, so it's important to place the abilities that you are allowed to use on a premium, because you only get 3.
Right.
And I want to talk about the final 30 seconds of the match here, because we oftentimes say in Turf War, that's when it's make or break time there, 9. What are these teams trying to establish in those final ticks on the clock?
Well, first of all, they want to position themselves properly. Everyone knows that when you're pushed back, you have to find a way back in. What beats that? Positioning. And on top of that, you need to have your specials. You know that the opponent is going to come out with specials. You have to have yours at the ready to counteract theirs.
Players making their final adjustments and getting back to communication, we oftentimes talked about as well, too. That's one of the key features of these professional teams here, Ashley, their ability to talk and chat with one another and recognize threats.
Yeah, of course. I mean, anybody who is playing Splatoon, you always want to be talking to your teammates, right? I know that I always play with my best friend. We're talking to each other in voice chat. We're telling each other, hey, there's someone on the left, there's someone on the right, there's someone on, let's go flank. So it's an important feature. And with these guys, they are at the top of it.
Let's get started with our first match in the Splatoon 2 World Championship. We've got Turf War on Piranha Pit. You'll go ahead and look at your screen. You see Team USA set to destroy X in the pink, and then you've got the back squids in yellow. Looking at the loadout, what are you noticing right here, 9?
Well, you see set to destroy X running with 2 Rapid Blaster Pros. We're going to say that name a lot, and those who follow Splatoon know it is the dominant weapon currently in the meta. You see a Rapid Blaster on the side of back squids as well. Keep an eye on those weapons.
Majin already using the Inkjet, able to get a splat on Wit right there. Going to go ahead and respond back to his spot right there. 4-3 advantage on the field for the back squids. And Ashley, we oftentimes talk about, yes, the 30 seconds are important at the end, but the first 30 to establish map control are just as important.
That's right. You want to be able to get your positioning in. You want to start building that special as quickly as humanly possible, but not so quickly that you are actually out of the action. You don't want to stay away. These good trade for trades.
Couple
Love
of
it.
trade for trades right there. 3-2 advantage on the field right now for the back squids. You see the bottom right of your screen. A lot of yellow on the map right now here, 9.
Yeah, it's getting scary. We talk about it. The last 30 seconds are important, but you can very much lose a match early on if you're not careful. I love what I'm seeing from back squid. You see themselves positioned. They don't have the 2 Rapid Blaster Pros, but they do have the Rapid Blaster. They're not being overly aggressive.
Majin doing a great job grabbing a couple of splats with that Rapid Blaster. Take a look at Fuzzy and an overhead view of the map. 4-4 on the field. 1:30 left in this one. Both teams vying for control, but it seems like actually the back squids have the early advantage in this one.
They do. They established it early on. They have that key splat with the Inkjet, which I absolutely love that from a distance, but here we go. We're starting to see the specials come out from US.
Fuzzy deploying the Stingray right now, trying to create some space, and then the Ink armor also being deployed, because here is set to destroy X, looking to make that counter push here as we approach a minute left here, 9.
And they sent 2 people on the left side of the map. We talked earlier about how you need to pair up if you want to make something happen. They did a great job sending both Fuzzy and Pengit to the bottom of the screen. That allowed them to get the advantage they now have.
4-4 on the map. Wit has an Ink Storm sent out right now. That's going to help cover some turf 4 set to destroy X. You look at the map in the bottom right, it's pretty even at this point. Wit using that super jump to avoid the Stingray. Falls behind the splash wall. Wonderful job right there. Oh, but another splat for splat. It's 2-1 though at this point here, 9. Here's where set to destroy X can make their push. But if you are the back squids, this is when you got to hold things down.
There's not going to be a lot of time for either side to build up their specials yet. It's all about holding on. You hear the crowd coming to a roar. Set to destroy X moving to the top of the screen. This is their play.
20 seconds left. 4-2 on the map, and this is the advantage that set to destroy X was looking for. Hexen using that Rapid Blaster, clearing some space out. Now just trying to cover as much yellow as he possibly can. We're now down to 8 seconds left. 4-3 on the field, back squids. Is it enough of an advantage to make a counter push? We will see. It's going to be close. 3-2. Was it enough with the slosher at the end? Let's see what Judd has to say in match number 1. It's going to be close. The furry paws hold the fate, and victory going to the back squids narrowly, and we saw that by the final couple of seconds right there, 9. That 3-2 advantage that was established, and a couple scoops of the bucket with the slosher.
Slightest of leads, but that's such a big map that it's hard to get to the other side. Even if you have the lead going into that, it's not safe. You have so much ground to cover. Set to Destroy X did a great job pushing back in without the use of their specials. You saw them put 3 people attacking one spot, but it was just the staggered trades here, trades there. ultimately it just wasn't enough.
And Ashley, we saw it was really the back squids, their ability to establish map control early in this one. It seemed like it put Set to Destroy X on the defensive for most of the map.
That early splat with that inkjet, I think, was really key. I think it hurt their ability, Set to Destroy X's ability, to set up any kind of positioning. They had to kind of fall back a little bit. It really gave back squids an advantage throughout the entire match.
And we talked about the trades and the splats that were going on. Let's take a look at our instant replay from that matchup. We'll zoom in here on Wit and see what he's doing in this Turf War matchup. And 9, why don't you go ahead and walk us through this as he lands on the super jump behind the splash wall.
So this was a really key moment because you see the Slosher is pushed up in an aggressive position, and they also had just fired their Stingray as well. Even though Pengit went down right after doing that, that was their frontliner that they had sent out there. Cleaning that up without anybody going down really set the tone for them to make that late comeback. But again, it just wasn't enough.
And we saw a lot of splat for splats trades, as we said, Ashley, and really for Set to Destroy X, you're looking to try and get the splat, then make the push, but you don't get a chance to do that because the back squid's doing a great job of just playing defensive and making sure they secured the turf that they were able to grab.
Absolutely, and they won a lot of their one-on-ones, and if they didn't win the one-on-one, they took someone down with them, and I think that was such a smart move on their part. You know, they didn't get overly aggressive. They didn't try to get close to the, the base. Like, they just said, you know what, we got this. We're just going to stay in the middle of the map. We're going to control it, and that's it.
Let's get set for our second matchup. It's going to be Yeah Nah from Australia, New Zealand, taking on the GG Boys from Japan. If you look at the other matches, Set to Destroy X will be in match 3. They'll play the loser of this match, and then the back squids will play the winner of this match. And 9, Australia, New Zealand won the coin toss backstage, and they decided to go with Manta Maria. Your initial thoughts on this stage for Turf War?
Well, Charger. I don't know if Latias will be using that here today, but Manta Maria is such a well-balanced map. If you want to use a long-range weapon, you can go up to the top on that snipe area, the grading, and really make your presence felt. I think the spot they feel very comfortable, and we'll see if it pays off.
And it seems like in Manta Maria, if you can get the upper hand and have the higher elevation there, Ashley, your team's going to have a huge advantage.
Literally the upper hand. I mean, you've got a lot of verticality in this map. There's not a lot of ground space in the way of, you get to that center really quickly. So if you can get up high, you're definitely going to have an advantage with a Slosher. You're going to have an advantage with a Charger. You're going to have an advantage with any weapon that's going to put down a lot of ink.
And 9, I want to discuss some more about these main abilities because, as we said, you don't get the chance to load up 12 quick swim speeds, basically, and be swimming all over the level. You've got to be very judicious about what abilities you choose.
Right, and I think one of the most important abilities in the game right now is that quick respawn. It allows your frontliners, if they jump in to try to get back into the action, they get splatted, sent back to spawn. They're able to respawn very quickly, as it is called quick respawn, and they can jump back in and make their presence felt at sort of little to no risk. But because you're not able to stack that now, you've got to be a little more judicious with your jumps.
About a minute away from getting started here, we've got the GG Boys of Japan taking on Yeah Nah from Australia, New Zealand, and you look at the GG Boys, and 9, we discussed they took out over 800 teams to qualify here for these World Championships.
800 teams down, 3 more to go. That is the game plan for them here, but it just shows how experienced they are. That was a live environment like this, lots of teams, a big crowd. This is not too big a stage for them.
The lobby is basically set to go. We're just waiting for one more check mark, and then we can get started here. Turf War on Manta Maria. We've got the GG Boys from Japan taking on Yeah Nah from Australia, New Zealand. And we remember last year, the Aussies came in, and they had quite the upset in Turf War early on, Ashley.
They indeed did. We saw a lot of great play from them, and honestly, I'm excited to see what's going to happen right now.
Well, let's get it started. Match number 2, GG Boys from Japan. You'll see them in the blue or purple ink, however you portray it. And then the green ink will represent Yeah Nah from Australia, New Zealand, and 9, give us the breakdown on the initial loadouts.
Well, you're seeing 2 Dynamo rollers in the action right now. You would not have seen that a couple patches ago, but these are pretty similar compositions. Both sides using a lot of dualies here. Their long-range weapons are going to be the jumping point, but we already see one going down.
Yamamichi with the nice splat, using those dualies and that mobility that he has. And Ashley, a lot of times, your ability to move around this stage is so critical to getting that advantage.
That's right, and Yamamichi has the dualies, which enables him to roll. So he's able to get those double rolls in there, make sure he can get away from people, and again, win those one-on-ones and convert to ink on the ground.
We've got an Inkjet versus a Stingray, as you see Latias up top with that heavy splat link, getting a nice job with that Splatling right there. 2:15 left in this one. 4-3 advantage on the field for Yeah Nah. You see, their ability right now to use some of that range that they have here, 9, is giving them the early advantage.
And another reason that range is so good on this map is because it's a long map. They're going to need to jump back into the action as we see Yamamichi getting another great splat. Both sides are doing a great job of not getting locked out. There's been big moments, but they haven't let go.
4-4 on the map, 150 left. Make that 3-3 now as we have a couple of splats right here. Latias using that Splatling on top of the grate in the middle of the pier here in Manta Maria as she's trying to score her team a pivotal victory here in match number 2 of the Splatoon 2 World Championship. Overseeing a few things. You see FLC using that Dynamo Roller. Oh, but a 2-for-1 splat courtesy of Yamamichi once again, 9.
And they did a great job of moving in with the Stingray. Even if the Stingray isn't able to get the splats, it's a giant beam everyone's looking at that allowed them to push both of their dually players up and take that crucial position.
Yamamichi just marinating in that toxic miss, and he don't even care right now as it's 4-4 on the field. Both teams trying to seize control of the middle of the map. You now have 4-3 advantage for GG Boys as FLC trying to rain it down with that Dynamo. Oh, Dynamo versus Dynamo as Dynamon keeps him at bay. But here comes the Inkjet with about a minute left here. Ashley, what needs to happen with the final push?
Well, I think Australia needs to get out there, and Yeah Nah has got to start converting some of these one-on-ones. GG Boys are doing such a great job. They're being so aggressive. They're getting so far ahead that it's really hard for Australia to come around and flank.
You see the Ink Storm on port side right now. 35 seconds left in 9. It looks like with the 3-2 advantage, this is an opportunity for the GG Boys to strike.
It was, but you see all the frontliners went down just as we were saying that. The last one is Latias holding things down in the middle. She's not going to be able to do all the painting herself. They need to get in and get in quick.
18 seconds left. Ink armor deployed. Nice little overcoat for the GG Boys. Trying to get a few splats. Taiji unable to get the splat over there. You've got a 3-2 advantage on the field right now. 7 seconds left. Can GG Boys get the final push? Looks like they're able to get enough work done before the bell rang. Let's see what happens here as we go ahead and wrap up match number 2 between Japan and Australia, New Zealand. And the results are GG Boys with the victory, and they will move on to match 4 to take on the Back Squids. And so this was an example here, 9, of getting that final push with the last 30 seconds. And we saw that from the GG Boys. They got the numbers advantage, and those frontliners were able to advance.
And the frontliner versus frontliner battle really was the story there at the end. We said Latias was stranded by herself. It's because too many 1v1 victories coming from the dualies of GG Boys, and sometimes that's just how it goes.
And we saw Yamamichi with some big-time plays. Let's take a look at some of the action that was going on in this previous match. And you saw him with the dualies. And Ashley, a lot of times if you're one of those frontline players and you're the dualies, it's your job to go out there, get some ink out there, but also get some splats.
That's right. I mean, Yamamichi is so aggressive. I love watching him with those dualies. He's absolutely fantastic. Look at the aim with his inkjet. I mean, it was just so much fun to watch him get out there and get those splats.
Well, as we get set for our third match, we will have Yeah Nah from Australia, New Zealand taking on Set to Destroy X from Team USA. And in order to determine the stage, our available stages left are Arowana Mall and Wahoo World. We will do a coin flip here in just a moment. And you will have Yeah Nah, since they traveled the furthest here and put the most miles on the airplane to get here, they will get a chance to call the coin. And then, of course, match 4, Back Squids versus the GG Boys will have the remaining stage at that point. And it was interesting because we were talking about the Piranha Pit decision for Set to Destroy X here, 9, and they went with Piranha Pit because you eliminated the chargers in that level, but it wasn't able to work out for them.
No, it wasn't. And whenever you have a strong long-range threat, you want to pick a map that allows you to encroach on that, some flanking lanes, things that you can just kind of put some pressure on there artificially without having to run up and get them. But like you said, didn't quite work out here, and we saw this matchup last year, too.
Well, let's get set for our coin toss here. I believe we have our stagehand on stage set to go. We've got a couple of players for Set to Destroy X getting in the lobby here. Both sides of the coin were shown to Gabe. Gabe made his selection as far as which side will be chosen. And so obviously coin flips, very, very important when it comes to deciding a stage. It's been called. Nice catch. And it is the decision for Australia, New Zealand. They will get a chance to choose the stage. So will it be Arowana Mall or Wahoo World? And any thoughts on what they might be choosing here, Ashley, when you look at what they might be able to do?
I mean, if Latias wants to run a charger this time around.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We've got the decision. Gabe has talked to his teammates.